Hello friends, today I'm going to bore you on the topic of inverse functions. So what are they? Well, the definition is the relation formed when the independent variable is exchanged with the dependent variable in a given relation. So basically, y is equal to 2x becomes, that was terrible, x equals 2y. Opposites. Ooh, Mr. Walker, how do we find inverse functions? How do we solve them? Well, 3 easy steps. Step 1, substitute f of x for y. Step 2, swap y and x. Step 3, solve for y. That's it. That's inverse functions for you. I'm going to go into some algebraic solves, and then inverse functions on a graph. So let's start with algebraic solves. So this first one is going to be extremely simple. I'm straight up just going to do f of x is equal to x plus 8. 8. That's better. F of x is equal to x plus 8. So the first thing we do is we substitute y for that. So you get y is equal to x plus 8. Then you swap them. X is equal to y plus 8. From there, solve for y. Y is equal to x minus 8. Substitute inverse function for y. That's this. This is how you denote inverse functions. That is the sign for an inverse function. That is not, however, equal to 1 over f of x. This is not an exponent. This is inverse function. So you should substitute inverse function in for y. So inverse function is equal to x minus 8. So therefore, this nifty function we have right here is the inverse of that function. Plain out and simple. Let's do one more example. So problem 2. This one is going to be a little bit harder, but it's basically it's the same thing. So you get, let's say, f of x is equal to, let's put 2 x's in this one. So we're going to go x plus 1 divided by x. Ooh, getting complicated here, guys. Alright, so sub y is equal to x plus 1 over x. Switch. X is equal to y plus 1 divided by a y. X is equal to y plus 1. I'm going to go through all the algebra with you guys just so it's a little bit easier in the future for you guys. And then you get y of x minus y plus 1. Factor out a y, so you get y x. Ooh, I've run myself into the wall here. Did I actually just put plus 1? I am so sorry. That is equals 1. So x minus 1 is equal to 1. There we go, I fit it in. Okay? Then you divide out x minus 1. Y is equal to 1 over x minus 1. Sub back in. Inverse function. So you get the inverse function of x plus 1 over x is equal to 1 over x minus 1. So again, this, is the inverse of that. Simple. Alright, let's move on to some basics for graphing. So, when it comes to graphing, the important rule is that whatever the graph of the function is, it is mirrored over the line y equals x. That was terrible, but whatever. This is hard to draw on. Excuse me. So if you're given a function that looks something like that, its counterpart, or its mirror over y equals x, is going to look something like that. That was really bad. It's out here more, but you get what I mean. You know, this point from here to here is equal from here to here. You know, this point from here to here is equal from here to here. You get the point. So it's a complete mirror, and that's how you know that it's the inverse function. If it was not the inverse function, it would not be the same graph. It would be different. So yeah, I mean, we've basically covered inverse functions. They're just the opposites of themselves, and they graph equally over y equals x. Have fun with the finals, guys. Thanks.